I welcome you all in this evening virtual online session. It has been long time since these fest that we haven't been in the meeting and connection with each other. Today I am going to present in SAARC, especially SAARC is one type of regional organization. So we will see a few things about what is regionalism. We'll go briefly about the concept of regionalism. Then after we'll move to, we will take the reference of SAARC as a regional organization in South Asia. So basically regionalism is one type of collaborative approach. Regionalism is also one type of doctrine or principle that just gather the countries or states or nation of one particular area. Like there are the globe is divided into many areas such as northern part, they call it Arctic Circle, which surround the Arctic regions such as Norway, Sweden. These countries lie in the Arctic, northern hemisphere of the world. So they are basically known as Arctic Circle nations. So there are other nations such as the Nepal, India, Bhutan. This type of countries lies or are located in the southeastern hemisphere of our globe. So they are basically known as South Asian nations, just like USA and other nations. There are many nations which are also under the security alliance known as NATO. The African nation has African Union. There are the Southeast Asian nation has ASEAN. The European nation has European Union. So basically, the regionalism is one type of concept which refers to the political and cognitive idea of formation of regions. So these regions are basically the geopolitical or geographical regions. As I have already mentioned you that the globe is divided into northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. In the south there is one continent that is Antarctica. There is no life there, so there is no any regional group there because there is absence of life in Antarctica. But if you see in southern part there is if you see in eastern part there is Asian. If you see in southern southeast South Asian part, that is there is SAARC, and if you see in the African part there is African Union. And so this type of nation, this type of states, they come or they get together to have to share their cooperation in the perspective of political, in their cognitive or in their intellectual ideas, forming the different regions. So it is usually associated with formal programs, and since mid 1980s there has been the explosion of such regional programs on a global scale. Actually, this global organization were just evolved. They were in the peak level during mid 1980s, that many of the global organization, regional organization are created or established in 1980s. So the first example of successful globalization, regionalism is the European Union. It was just transformed from European Economic Committee that was established in 1958, that is also known as EEC, that has its headquarters on Brussels, Belgium. That EEC, European Economic Community, they just unite together for the economic purpose, that the Belgium, Germany, these countries, the France, these countries just unite together for just fostering their economic activities, as there was going on the industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution led to the industrialization, and we are currently in the fourth industrial revolution. So during after the World War II, those nations, they make one type of consensus that we need to unite for making bigger economies. We need to unite for economic cooperation. So they formed the European Economic Committee, and that committee was created in 1958 after Second World War. Then that was transformed into European Union in 1993, November 1. So now European Union is known for best, or it is known for the strongest that regional organization. Many of the European nations have just hand over their sovereignty to the European Union. That European Union was previously constituted of 28 nations, but just after the Brexit, England was just England exit from that European Union, and there are 27 member states in European Union currently. So similar type of organization that is in the Eastern Asian part, that is ASEAN. It has 8 members, and it was established in 1967 August 8. The 8 members were just founding members, and now a few members are added. There are roughly 10 members in ASEAN. ASEAN plus 5, ASEAN plus 3. These members are later on added to this regional organization. Similarly, that there is a regional organization in South Asia, that is Southeast Asian, that is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that was established in 1985 December 8. Similarly, there is also a regional organization in South Africa, that is African Union, that was established in 2002 July 9. So many of the regional organizations that were just originated or evolved in 1980s, mid 1980s, then they are just by the member state of their peripheral nations. So this is the general overview of regionalism. Regionalism, basically they unite together for the political and cognitive ideas of forming the regions. They just come together for the common type of objectives and goals, such as peace, such as security, such as economic cooperation, such as cultural understanding, and many other trade and market type of just common objectives and goals. So let's go to the next slide, that we will just see about SAARC here. SAARC, that is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, is the regional intergovernmental organization and the geopolitical union of states in South Asia. So the Nepal, India, Bhutan, Pakistan, these nations are geographically located in South Asian region of the globe. So these nations are known as South Asian nations. There are 8 nations in this organization. They unite together to form one organizational, that is intergovernmental organization, that is that has a relation with each other's government in the South Asia. In this organization, the head of state and head of the government, they participate in the SAARC summits twice a year. Sorry, I mean once in a 2 year. Previously, after the origin or after the establishment of SAARC in 1985 December 8, there were periodic or yearly type of summit. From around 1993, the summit was just declared to have once in 2 years. Currently, it is the summit is not going further. There were altogether 18 summits that were successfully held, but the 19th summit that was supposed to be held in Pakistan is delayed. It is not held yet. That has to be held in 2016, but there was confrontation between India and Pakistan due to the bad relationship, and weak diplomatic channel and diplomatic communication between India and Pakistan, we are not having the 19th SAARC summit in Pakistan that was supposed to be held in 2016. So the SAARC at the beginning of its establishment was with the 7 members. Now Afghanistan is the 8th member that were added in 2007. So there are altogether 8 members in this regional organization. So SAARC Secretariat is located in Kathmandu. It was established in 1986. The main purpose of SAARC is that the SAARC seeks for to promote the welfare of the people of South Asian people, first making them wealthy and just promotion of their welfare notion. Second thing, strengthening their collective reliance, self-reliance, that the South Asian nations should have interdependence in the among each other nation, that South Asian nation should not rely upon China or they should not rely upon other nation. So there is the objective of strengthening, the purpose of strengthening the collective self-reliance, that South Asian nations should be interdependent, they should interdepend on each other nation, South Asian nation, rather than the other nations such as European countries, China, for trade and other purpose. So next thing, the purpose of SAARC is to promote the active collaboration and mutual assistance in various fields. There are many common areas of cooperation between the SAARC nation. So the purpose of this organization is to promote the collaboration and mutual assistance in many fields such as health, education, and in the field of economy and trade and other type of fields also. And the cooperation with international and regional organizations. So this organization also seeks for making the good relationship with other regional organizations and international organizations such as regional organization. You can see ASEAN, you can see European Union, you can see that Arab League is there, you can see African Union, and international organizations such as ADB, World Bank, and IMF, such like there should be good relation and cooperation between these organizations. So this is the purpose of SAARC. You can now see the member state of SAARC. These are the member state of SAARC in the ascending order. First one is Bangladesh, that was not a member during the establishment of SAARC. And second one is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. You can see the logo of SAARC. There are 7 curves if you count, and these represent to the 7 nations that were the members during the establishment of SAARC. The artist from Nepal, Sailendra Moharjan, designed this logo of SAARC, and now there are 8 members in SAARC. You can see this in the picture. So there is SAARC charter. This formation of SAARC was formed from this SAARC charter. In the Charter 1 of SAARC, there is mentioned the objectives of SAARC, that SAARC should have mutual cooperation, mutual trust, mutual understanding between each other nation, that SAARC in the SAARC members will just work on the principle of similar to the Panchashil, that they will not interfere in each other's internal affairs, non-aggression. They will just participate each other representation in the form of peaceful and in the form of good relations. So there the objectives of SAARC are mentioned in the first article of SAARC Charter. In the second charter, the principle of SAARC Charter, the principle are similar to the principle of Panchashil and similar to the principle of good understanding, mutual cooperation between the each other nation of SAARC nations. In the Article 3 is associated with the meetings of head of states that usually held each year after the establishment of SAARC, but after 1991, the meeting is held once in 2 years. So the fourth article of the SAARC Charter tells about the Council of Ministers, that there the meeting between the meeting and the decisions and the different types of policies that are formulated by the Council of Ministers, the decisions taken by the Council of Ministers of all the 8 member states. The Article 5 is associated with the Standing Committee. This Standing Committee is the committee that is formed by the foreign secretaries of these all SAARC members, the 8 SAARC countries. The sixth article tells about the technical committee. The technical committee, in technical committee, all the 8 members representatives are taking part in this technical committee. This is associated with different type of technical fields. Similarly, the article 7 tells about the action committee. In this action committee, there is not necessary to there is no necessity for representation of all 8 SAARC member states, but there is representation of few SAARC member states. It works for the actions and activities and the monitoring and evaluation of the policies and the activities that are formulated by the SAARC. So Article 8 of the SAARC Charter tells about the SAARC Secretariat. Generally, the tenure of SAARC General Secretary is 3 years, and currently the current SAARC General Secretary of SAARC is Isala Wurikaun of Sri Lanka. The ninth article tells about the financial arrangement, how the SAARC expenditures and they are just divided in the SAARC member state nation, how the financial activities are carrying on. That is mentioned in Article 9 of SAARC Charter, and the 10th Charter just describe about the journal provisions that are related to this organization SAARC. So since 1985, these are the summit that has held in the in this SAARC. So first summit was held in Dhaka, December 8, 1985, in which SAARC was established. Second summit was in India, Bangalore, November 17, 1986. Third summit was in Nepal, Kathmandu, November 4, 1987. Fifth summit was third summit was in Nepal. Fourth was in Islamabad, Pakistan in 1998. Sixth was in fifth was in Maldives in 1990. Sixth was in Colombo, Sri Lanka in 1991. Seventh was in Dhaka in 1993. Eighth was in India, New Delhi in 1995. Ninth summit was again in Mali in 1997. 10th was in Colombo, Pakistan in 1998. 11th summit that take place in Kathmandu in 2002. 12th summit was in Islamabad, again in Pakistan in 2004. 13th summit was in Dhaka, again in November 13, 2005. 14th summit was in New Delhi, again in 2007. 15th summit was in Colombo, Sri Lanka in 2008. 16th summit was in Thimphu, Bhutan in 2010. 17th summit was in Maldives in 2011. 18th summit was again in Kathmandu, Nepal in 2014. Then 19th summit was supposed to be held in Pakistan in 2016, but it was cancelled due to the aggressive or confronting relation between India and Pakistan. And after 19th summit, there is no any summit has taken place. So the relation among the member state of SAARC nation is not in a good relation manner. So there are also many regional centers, as SAARC just cooperates for different types of field. There is the Center for SAARC Agricultural Center in SAC in Dhaka, the Center of Meteorological Research Center that just is associated with climate and weather that is situated in Dhaka. The SAARC Tuberculosis Center (STC) is situated in Nepal, Kathmandu. The SAARC Documentation Center is situated in New Delhi. The SAARC Human Resource Development Center is situated in Islamabad, Pakistan. The SAARC Coastal Zone Management Center is situated in Maldives. SAARC Information Center is situated in Nepal. SAARC Energy Center is situated in Pakistan. SAARC Disaster Management Center is situated in India. SAARC Forestry Center is situated in Bhutan. And SAARC Cultural Center is situated in Sri Lanka. As Bhutan has the largest area of the forest area in South Asia, so the South Asian nation has this different type of centers. They cooperate, they collaborate, and they just do the activities related to this fields. So this South Asian nation have cooperation in this diverse type of field and sectors. Similarly, SAARC has designated few SAARC decades, like the UN also designate UN years. SAARC has just designated the SAARC decades. The SAARC decade from 1991 to 2000, the 10-year period is known as decade, and SAARC, the first SAARC decade from 1991 to 2000 is declared as a SAARC decade for girl child. The SAARC decade 2001 to 2010 is declared as SAARC decade for right of child. The third SAARC decade 2006 to 2015 was declared the SAARC decade for poverty alleviation. The SAARC decade 2010 to 20 is declared as the SAARC decade for inter-regional connectivity. Similarly, we are now moving to the summary of SAARC. South Asian countries are just committed to expand the reciprocal cooperation for attaining common objective of poverty alleviation and economic development. As you can see, the South Asian nation are not much developed nation. They are in the progressive manner of development. They are developing nations. So they are committed reciprocally benefiting each other for the cooperation of attaining the major common objective of poverty alleviation, eliminating poverty from South Asian region. We have also SDGs that has the common objective of elevating the poverty from the whole globe. Also the South Asian nation are reciprocally united or connected together for the common objective of economic development as well. In the sector of trade, you can see the South Asian preferential trade arrangement that is related for trade concession among the South Asian countries for just smoothing the trade between South Asian nations, for just removing the tariff and non-tariff barriers that was just first initiated by WTO, World Trade Organization. So all the South Asian nations are also the member of WTO, and to ease the trade, they have this agreement known as South Asian Preferential Trade Arrangement Agreement for just smoothing the trade and market between South Asian nations. So there is the consensus or agreement among the these South Asian countries that mutual cooperation and relation that require reform and expansion. As we have seen above, that there is the 19th SAARC summit is in the pending. There is no good relation between India and Pakistan. In the late 2020, the India is not having good relation with other SAARC members also. So SAARC has really challenged for just making reforms in different types of field, and just expanding the more mutual cooperation. Also, Nepal bears 10.72% of total SAARC expenditure, as Nepal is also the chair, is holding the chairmanship of SAARC, and SAARC headquarters itself is situated in Nepal. And for strengthening the cooperation, Nepal has organized first SAARC games, 8 SAARC games and 13 SAARC games that was held in 2013, 2019, and these are the 3 SAARC games Nepal has organized. So this is the journal overview of SAARC. And there are few challenges in SAARC. We can see the challenges of good relation between the nation, as there is frequent question about the dissolvement of SAARC. Many scholars, many intellectual personalities, they argue that will this SAARC survive for the future? Will this be the successful organization, or it will just dissolve like the Warsaw Pact that is not in the existence now. The Warsaw Pact was one led by the ancient Russia, known as USSR, that was later on dissolved, but the security alliance or security collaboration of the United States in the membership of in the chairmanship of United States is still alive, which in NATO. So there is the frequent question for the survival of SAARC, and it has not very much good relation between among its member state also. So there is not much development in the sector of economy also. There is many type of just dissatisfaction in the trades, and so there is a great challenge for the just dissolution or dissolvement of SAARC. Also, many scholars or many people, they argue that the replacement of SAARC is now by the another type of regional organization known as BIMSTEC. So these are the few challenges that SAARC should cope or SAARC should adopt for its survival. First, SAARC state members, nation members should have good relation among each other. The greatest problem in the SAARC countries' relation is the conflict between India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan are both the nuclear countries, and they are not in the good relation since many years. So these two nations are the greatest problem. So they have just influenced the whole the piece of other South Asian nation. These are also major power. These are also nuclear power in South Asian nations. So they play key role and a vital role in the relation of South Asian nation. Without India, we cannot imagine about SAARC, because India plays the great. India has a great big brotherly attitude in the SAARC region. So there was also one type of just proposal for just making China as the member of SAARC, but India denied. And India proposed making Afghanistan as the member of SAARC. So Afghanistan was just made the member of SAARC in 2007. So India just play key role in this regional organization SAARC. So no one knows will this SAARC will totally be dissolved, or it will just extend further. India itself is not just showing reluctance and not showing its interest in just building the SAARC. India is silent in the matter of just making regional cooperation, strengthening regional cooperation. But we have heard one news in news during the COVID scenario that Nepal has also contributed some fund for the disaster management or COVID-19 management fund, which also show the positive attitude towards the sustenance of SAARC, that SAARC is still just in the extending form, it is not going to dissolve. Similarly, the extension of SAARC General Secretary, the new General Secretary from Sri Lanka is just elected, or is just appointed as a SARC General Secretary in 2020. It can also, we can also imagine that SARC will survive, but it is not much effective like ASEAN. It is not as effective as European Union. So this is the one major challenge of SARC, to maintain good relation between each other nations. So if you have any queries in SARC, you can just go for it.